everybody. This is Young Living Diamond Sarah Harnish, and I'm the author of Unstuck, How to Talk to Humans and Get Them to Respond to You, and Fearless, which is what we're going to be talking about for the next week or so here. We're going to be doing a ton of training on this book specifically. I'm going to show you how to use it as a tool to help with your Essential Rewards totals. So thank you so much for giving up some time and hanging with me. This is kind of how the training's going to go. I'm going to train for 7 days on Fearless, and we'll go maybe 30, 40 minutes a night, and we'll do 3 days this week and 3 days next week, 3 or 4 days next week. We'll see kind of where we're at. And then as I wrap up the last night, we're going to release all the 105 stuff. So if you haven't had a chance to pop on and see what's going on the website, you need to go check out the website because we got some pretty amazing things. I haven't seen the energy around Fearless like this in a very, very long time. You guys were like cray on the post earlier today. So I'll pick some winners for that as soon as I'm done with this first day of training. Let me just flip my camera around. If you're not familiar with Unstuck, you need to get that book in your hands. It is Game Plan's sister. I've been told it is the best book I have ever written. So if you are really just having a hard time getting your business off the ground, you want to run for Silverbound, run for Bridge to Gold, want to get the bonuses, but you're really having a hard time getting people in classes, please, the timing on this book could not have been better, all right? It's literally how to get an audience. So grab the book, get trained on it. Boot camp's right there, it's free. But underneath is a thing called the Core 4 downloadables. And the first 3 have been released. We've got 2 more coming. Savvy is going to come right at the end of Fearless with the Fearless training we're doing. And CBD will come right after the Savvy class. But let me just pop in the 101 oils because every single one of these pages is exactly the same. So it's really easy for you to duplicate with your teams. There's a PowerPoint that's free. You can download it, teach off of it. Makes you look good, really good. Some blank slides. You can customize it for your team and the resources you have, your stories, your testimonies, make it yours. There's a demo of a class, so if you have a leader that's a couple states over and they just haven't taught a 101 class before, you can literally send them a link and they can watch it. The script is right here. Guys, I gave away my scripts. Gave them away. They're in the back of Unstuck. They're on this website for free. They don't cost you anything. The PowerPoints don't cost you anything. We've been developing them for 2 years. So professionally designed. If corporate put something out that was amazing, we collected it and put it inside. So whether it was from rallies or Mike Book's Facebook page, we collected those things and put them in one place so it was easy for you to be able to teach classes. I'm teaching right now like 8+ classes a week on Zoom using the PowerPoints, all right? But I'm going to train for the next week on follow-up because I want you to be able to keep your teams. And so the script is right here, is free, doesn't cost you anything. Soon as I'm done teaching my class, I send them a textable class. Why would I do that? The retention rate when people listen to your class the first time is only about 15%. They only retain about 15% of what you have taught them. So 67 million Americans are listening to podcasts daily, every single day. That's a podcast. It's recorded in a professional radio studio, so they can listen to it on their phone. It's 20 minutes long. It's like the length of time it takes them to get to the grocery store and back, which is pretty much the only place we can go right now, right? But they can listen to the whole thing in their cell phone, and then they retain it. They remember more than when you just taught it the very first time. So it's going to hold your people to your team. Here's the little secret sauce right here. So after I sent them that, I sent them the Fearless Calendar download. And this is going to run them through their starter kit. It's going to train them how to use every single thing in their box. Have you ever had anybody on your team that said, oh yeah, I wanted to continue using oils, but I used the 2 in the starter kit. I don't really know what some of these other ones are for, and so it just kind of collected dust and I feel really bad, but I don't really want to reorder. This stops that problem because we get them using everything in their kit right away. They run through the entire kit. So the way I use this calendar, and it's free. It doesn't cost anything. You can print it and it doesn't cost you. So the way I use it is I just text it to them, have them print it off. As soon as their kit arrives, they go through the challenges, they fill it out, they screenshot it, they send it back to me, and then I do an account credit when I see their first ER order go through. I gift them $25 off their first Essential Rewards order because I want to encourage that behavior. So these are free resources on the team, all right? And then there's some graphics here also for you to be able to market your classes. So I sign people up, but they don't want to get on ER. Talita, you were in the right place. because that's exactly what we're training on, like exactly what we're training on. I'm going to teach you how to use the tools that we've generated with Unstuck to be able to lead to permanency with your Essential Rewards people and how to lead them to Essential Rewards. So let me tell you tonight just what I do while I'm teaching my classes. And we've gone through this just a little bit before when we've done Unstuck Boot Camp. But basically, I train on the core four. Oils, 101 Oils, 102 Thieves, 103 Ningxia, 104 CBD. And then I have a bonus class of Savvy, even though we don't have the Savvy Starter Kit. Right now, we do at least have all of the makeup. So that's another outlet for you to be able to teach. If you teach in one class a month, that's 5 months of training that you're getting them funneled into. So I download the PowerPoints, print off the scripts, sign people up for a Zoom, sit down with 2-3 people in a Zoom call, share my screen, and run the PowerPoints. Soon as the PowerPoint's over, I end the class right away. I don't want to sit there and take questions and stuff and keep people on. I want to end it really fast. And I say, hey, you know what? I'm going to contact you right after class because I want to customize the aromatherapy training directly to your needs, right? So I want to make sure you're getting every single drop out of this class because, oils are about you and it's about what your needs are. And so I get my Contact Me card out, which comes with your Diamond Rising deck. If you haven't had a chance to check that bad boy out, you need to go to my website and go look at that deck. That deck is awesome for follow-up because just from filling out that first card, it gives you like 15 talking points with them to touch base again. A little bit more information about their immune system. I say, hey, you know what? I've got a 102 Thieves class coming up on Thursday. Let me get you plugged into that because I think this is the answer you've been looking for. You always lead with them. You don't lead with your business. You don't lead with the rank you're running for. You don't lead with how much OGV you need. You don't lead with any of that. You lead with them. Always lead with them. Always, always, always lead with them, okay? So then once they come into the class, I make sure that they get all 4 classes. They get funneled to all core 4 classes, and I tailor the training to their needs. Once they get the starter kit, I give them their Fearless calendar. I give them the Fearless book. We've sold over 4 million Fearless books, which is crazy. You guys are in beast mode with Fearless. I give them the book, and I encourage them to read it. It's a 2-hour read to get through it, but it gives them the why behind oiling. It gives them the whole why. And then I make it my goal to do a couple of things in Fearless. So we tweaked this book to match Unstuck. I'm going to show you a couple of new things that are in the book. Let me just turn the front cover over. Right when they get their book, on the inside of it, it's got a place for them to write their member ID, their 4-digit PIN, and their password. So they don't ever forget what their password is so they can log in and do Essential Rewards. Then after they've read the book, there's 10 challenges in the book, which are laid out in the calendar. And it's good stuff, like using all the oils in your starter kit, making their first roll-ons, watching the videos in the Getting Started tab, topical application, creating blends, the Empty the Box challenge, ordering new oils each month, practicing the art of research, making a list of 3 things you want to work on to support your body's systems, and then the simple swap or the 3-cabinet challenge. So going into their cabinets and taking a look at some of the things that they're using and what those ingredients lists are. This is one of my favorite new parts of Fearless. So there is a place in the back for you guys to be able to build ER wish lists with your brand new member, where you sit down with that Contact Me card, say, oh, you want to learn about supplements, you want to learn about skincare or nutrition or animals. Hey, I got you. Let's draw up what that looks like at 190, 250, and 300 PV. And then I just write down what the item numbers are, and I give them 3 months of Essential Rewards orders laid out, and I go into the virtual office and I show them how to place their Essential Rewards order. And then I tell them when they fill out their calendar and they push their order through, I'm going to gift them $25 toward their next ER order because I want to come alongside them, and I believe so deeply in this lifestyle, and I believe so deeply in them, okay? All I can tell you is my personal ER, so for my personally enrolled is 83%. And part of it is by using these Contact Me cards because they're just little check boxes and sitting down and tailoring the training to what they need. Part of it is giving them the why behind oiling, and part of it is funneling them to the core 4 classes. Because what I found is when they've been trained in all 4, their orders go dink, 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 right? Dink, dink, dink. I mean, they get trained in oils. They're like, oh yeah, I totally didn't know I could use Endoflex to stop my kids' tantrums. That's crazy. No way. I'm gonna hit that 300-400 PV tier because I really want to use that oil, right? So just sharing your stories, being there for them, listening to what their needs are, training them how to use the reference guide and how to look things up. And part of it is getting them to understand the why behind oiling. It's like this, not that. Well, I can pick something with 15 ingredients or I can pick something with 1 ingredient, right? I want to protect my family, and so I'm going to make the choice of 1 ingredient for them. Then the next thing that I do is once they're on Essential Rewards, I make it my goal that they never pay for their order again. Never pay for their order again. And I do that by getting 15 people signed underneath them that are also on Essential Rewards by teaching the core 4 to their friends and their family. They don't have to build a business. My goal is that their order doesn't come out of their family budget. That's where I take that, is their order doesn't come out of their family budget. So that's a language that I'm using, because what you need to build your organization is OGV. You need an audience. And when you have a person that's on Essential Rewards, they are 90% less likely to drop off if they got one person under them that's also on Essential Rewards, and they're getting a little bit of paycheck from that person. And so the last night of Fearless, we're going to train on a concept called Friends of Friends, which is how you keep your people on Essential Rewards. All right? So those are some of the quick tips that I've got to start this off. Now what I want to do is, and I've shown you the resources, I've shown you where the PowerPoints are, so you now know how to find the 101 Oils resources and the 102 Thieves, 103 Ningxia. We'll have 105 Savvy coming out on the last night of Fearless, and then CBD will be right on the heels, and everything that was in Unstuck will now be in your hands for free as well, okay? So what we're going to do for a couple of nights here is just a little bit of storytelling. And I'm going to jump right into Fearless. If you don't have the Fearless with the purple stripe on it, this is the new one that's updated with the new starter kit, and it's updated to match Unstuck and the concepts of Core 4 and ER and all of that. So, and the goal is retention. And we're having wonderful results with retention on my team as we're getting ready to push for Crown Diamond. We're getting so close to Crown Diamond. And you know, you've heard people say the fortune's in the follow-up. Right, the fortunes in the follow-up. So easy to sign people to your team, but to keep them and to keep them on your team, you have to be where they are. You know, we're in the middle of a quarantine. We're in the middle of a pandemic right now. And so there's 25% unemployment. People are losing their jobs. We're not feeling it really hard in Young Living because we have products that people need. We have Thieves. We have a sanitizer that meets the CDC requirements of over 60% alcohol. You know, we have a lot of really good things to offer people, but there's going to be a point where it's going to be hard for people to afford. Right now, people are making a choice between paying their mortgage and they're using their stimulus checks to get things that keep their family safe, right? And there's going to be a point where it's going to be hard for them to do that. So your goal is to be where they are in that moment. And the way you do that is Friends of Friends. It's signing their circles so that they get a check so that they don't feel it. Right? They don't have to dial their orders back because they're getting enough to cover their orders. That's the goal. Whether they're going to build or not, it doesn't matter. You don't need them to build. You need their audience, right? You need their audience. So, and we'll talk a little bit more about Friends of Friends in the last night of Fearless, so you do not want to miss the last night of Fearless. But for right now, for a couple more minutes, and then I'll join you again tomorrow night, and then we'll meet again on Wednesday, and then we'll pick back up again next week with Fearless. I just want to do a little storytelling and jump right into the book and just share a little bit of my why with you. And it's kind of neat as an author to be able to share some of the heart behind the book and why I put these pages together in the hopes of really encouraging and inspiring people, because once you understand the why behind oiling, it's a whole different ballgame. Don't train the starter kit. People already have the starter kit. You don't need to train that. You need to train the why. They need to understand the lifestyle. They've got to understand the decision behind the kit. If you get them to that place, then you have a lifelong oiler. So let's jump right into Fearless, and I'm just going to do some reading with you guys for maybe 5 minutes or so, and then we're going to wrap up, and I'll jump back on again, same bat time tomorrow night until we get through this book, all right? We're also going to collect all these training videos, and I'm going to put them under the Fearless button on the Fearless page. So Fearless is confidence with essential oils in 2 hours. Hello. Welcome to Essential Oils. If you just got your Young Living starter kit in the mail and it's a little intimidating, or if you have had your kit for a while but it's collecting some dust because you just don't know what to do with it, this book is for you. Maybe you're eyeing your kit but you're not really sure if you would use it. You love the smell of peppermint, but you have no idea how to incorporate it into a daily routine. And this book is for you too. You're probably thinking, as I did, there's so many books about essential oils. Where do I start? How do I get to know my oils and use them properly? If you're worried about wasting your investment or making a mistake, or if these little drops will even stack up to what you've been using for years. If you love the idea of becoming an oiler, but you're overwhelmed, it's okay. It's all right. You're in the right place. So, for the next 2 hours in this book, we're not going to go 2 hours tonight. You'll have to click on the second video to see more. I'm going to carry you far from those places because I was you. I've walked this path, and I came from the darkest past, filled with so many toxic chemicals that it was causing monthly brain bleeds for me. And I slowly learned how to move from that place. And now my life is completely different. So I've had all of your doubts and all your questions and all of your thoughts and all of your fears. And today is the day that we eradicate fear together. Together, we're going to cross that gap between not feeling confident about using essential oils to a life filled sun up to sundown with essential oils. It's a toxic, chemical-free lifestyle. And it takes a little training. And it takes a little bit of encouragement, and that is why I'm here, all right? That's why I'm here. My name is Sarah Harnish, and I'm a young living diamond, and I'm an essential oils addict, and I'm gonna help you grow confident with oils and help you to get the most out of your starter kit. I've been using and sharing oils now for 6 years. Really hard to believe. July 18th will mark my 6th anniversary. Well, that was my first class, so June 27th, I got my kit. And I've seen people fall in love, and I've seen people become die-hard oilers, but I've also seen starter kits resold online, and I've seen them still wrapped in plastic, and it all boils down to one reason. They never knew the treasure that was inside the box. Why all this excitement about 12 oils? Because it's got the power to alter your life. It's a course correction. It's a complete perspective shift on how you take care of yourself and take care of your family. And by taking these tiny little baby steps into a natural lifestyle at a pace that you choose, you don't need to move really fast, you can dramatically change your exposure to poisons and toxic chemicals. So oils aren't just weird bottles that only certified aromatherapists know how to use. They've been around since the dawn of time, and they've been used by millions of people without any certifications at all. So if they're a fad with a track record that spans millennia, and they're also your gateway to change how you care for your family. The reality is that most of us fall somewhere between the crunchy enthusiast that sleeps on bamboo sheets and eats leaves and nothing else, and the fast food dining connoisseur that lives in a chemical cesspool. Most of us want to do better for our families, but we just aren't really sure what that looks like. And we're not sure if we have time. And it seems like the information that's out there would take a lifetime to learn. And so when we get oils in our hands, we love the idea of them, but we aren't really sure what to do with them. And I was in that category 6 years ago. I had zero exposure to pure essential oils, but I got my kit. And I started to experiment, and I started to play with the oils, and I built a massive team and a massive income with just one thing: passion. And so now I put together a guide to teach you how to play with your kit. It's called Fearless, right here. This is what we're training out of. It's up on Amazon. It's up on my website. It's called Fearless because we're going to annihilate your fear of oils. I'm going to walk you through step by step how to get to know your oils until you cannot imagine a life without them. And then I'm going to train you how to make oils your focal point, not your afterthought. So if you accept my 10 challenges and you truly walk through them over and over again until they become normal for you, be prepared to eliminate worry about how you care for your spouse and care for your kids, because you're going to walk with confidence through your home, knowing that you've made that simple swap of toxic chemicals at every turn that are going to impact your family in a positive way. This book isn't about pretty little bottles that smell good. It's about changing the way that you look at every single product that you buy. It's about training your eyes how to hunt for dangers in your home and training you how to label read so that you can spot poison in your cabinets and start making the best choices for your family. So let's just talk why for 2 minutes, and then I'm going to wrap this video up and we'll start day 2 of our Fearless class tomorrow, all right? Why start with oils? Or if you're not watching it live, you could just click on the next video. Why start with oils? Because everything else is a larger learning curve. And I'm just shooting straight with you here because I've delved into the natural world. Oils are the bridge to natural health. Young Living oils come ready to go. They're right out of the bottle. There's no science that you need to master. There's no fancy techniques that you need to learn. The work is done for you by God creating incredible plants. And every day all over the world, the experts on Young Living's farms are capturing the power of the plants, and they're putting them into a bottle with their amazing seed to seal guarantee. Distilling is not a skill that you need to master. You just need to learn how to play with your kit. Other natural living techniques take a lot more time and a lot more effort. So like, for example, if you're learning fermenting, you got to find cultures, and you got to be comfortable having weird things growing on your counter, and you can't have them next to each other on your counter, right? Because you can mix bacteria. If you're learning homeopathy, you've got to learn how to source and harvest and dry and boil and bottle herbs and tinctures. Some of those have to sit there for 6 weeks plus in tincture. If you're learning organic gardening, you've got to learn about pH and soil and composting, right? You don't know your oil till you know your soil. Where to plant, how to plant, what can be planted together. With oils, you literally just open the bottle and run with it. It doesn't require a degree. Oils are simple and they work. So perhaps up until this point, you haven't had a lot of interest in what's in your cabinets or what's in your diet. And you figure if you're not eating fast food a few times a week, then you're not a soda or a junk food addict, then you're in decent shape, right? In this little book, I'm going to challenge you and I'm going to encourage you to kick it up a notch. Because even if you think you're in great shape, you may not be feeling so good, right? And I really believe that most of what we do goes back to what we're putting in our body, on our body, slathering on our body, washing our hair with, putting into our scalp, getting into our bloodstream, ingesting, eating, breathing, right? You're the gatekeeper of your house. And so it's up to you to protect the four walls of your home. Nobody else is looking out for your family except for you. So it's time for you to take this far beyond a starter kit into every single room of your home. Are you ready for a game changer? Are you ready to take the next step and ready to take this seriously? Because you already made the investment with a premium starter kit, and now it's time to show you where this goes. And I promise you, it's good. It's a good thing. I'm going to shoot straight with you, though. There is a learning curve to oiling, but it's not because it's hard. It's because you got to untrain yourself from reaching for other options. You have to untrain all of your other habits, untrain your connections to smells and products that you've used for years, but it's not as hard if you can find your why. Your why for oiling is very important. My why is that I'm tired of what the industry tells me is safe. And I'm tired of government approvals of products that should never, ever be in anybody's home. And I'm tired of wiping my counters down with bottles that say that they're poisonous and shouldn't be consumed. And I'm tired of wearing smells that smell like toxic chemicals when I wash my hair, and eating foods that make me groggy because they're processed with synthetic vitamins and chemically processed Franken foods and synthetic ingredients that don't resemble anything that my grandparents would have seen on their tables. I'm tired of walking through the grocery store and getting a headache when I pass through the cleaning supplies aisle. I am tired of a toxic lifestyle, and I'm saying no to dangerous chemicals in my home. My family and I will no longer be exposed to anything that I can't control. And I'm pretty sure you're on the same path with me, because you wouldn't have your starter kit sitting there on a shelf. So let's learn together, side by side, step by step, piece by piece, at your pace. And that's why this book is tiny. It's why it's digestible. It's your getting started place. And these videos are your getting started place. This little book is probably a little different than what you've seen before, because it's not an encyclopedia of names and origins of plants, hundreds of pages long, and it's not a flyer. A couple of uses of the starter kit. Those are both great tools, and I use both of them in my home. But this book serves a different purpose. For the first time, I'm explaining what it looks like to be someone who uses essential oils daily. In one sitting, you're going to go from a non-oiler or a passive oiler to one that's passionate and trying new things each day with purpose. Every day. That's my goal by the end of this Fearless training. So if you can get past the habits of reaching for the familiar old things you're used to, then you're on the road to cleaning out the toxic chemicals in your home. So whether you take this book and you just explode and you detox your entire house, or whether you just apply a few principles, we've grown together and you've done an excellent job. What makes me qualified to teach you how to use your kit? I've studied at multiple aromatherapy schools. I've got 6 certifications in aromatherapy, from biblical aromatherapy aromatherapy to aromachemistry. I've instructed thousands in mass classes across the country. I am a certified clinical aromatherapist, although I don't throw that title around much. And if you're building a business, I recommend you don't go do those things. But my best qualification, honestly, is pain. It's my past. It's where I came from. And it's the result of my poor decisions. And so if showing you my mistakes gets you to make some changes, then writing this book was worth it for me. So walk with me for just a few minutes in tomorrow night's video while I share the very beginning of the story of how I found essential oils and how making a swap saved my life. We'll do that in class number 2 tomorrow night. I hope you guys are enjoying the Fearless content. And I'm just going to keep giving you little business tips each night as you integrate this into your own team and start using this as a tool for doing follow-up. I love you guys. I'm going to post a contest on the page if you're watching this live, so pop on, enter the contest, and I'll pick winners every single night. All right, thank you for joining me for Fearless. We're going to go a couple more nights this week if you're watching live, and then a few nights next week as well, all right? Love you. Bye.